Hey everyone, it's Elyse. Today's video is going to be about getting kids involved in genealogy, how you can do it, and why it's so important. So let's cover the why first. Why does getting kids involved in genealogy even matter? Well, first is that if you don't pass on your love for your family tree, then no one's going to carry it on. You know, it's kind of like all that work is just done for nothing, you know, if no one's there to carry on the legacy and continue the research and that sort of a thing. You know, it's the same idea with genealogy societies. You need the younger generation to get involved so that, you know, there'll still be a genealogy society 10, 20 years down the road. But how do you get them involved in genealogy, right? First things first, kids want to be involved. They want to be a part of what you're doing, but they want to physically do something with it. They want to help. So one of the things I really love to do, and you know, you can do this from really young. In fact, the younger the better when you start it, just because it instills that love kind of before they have the attitude of, oh, this is boring. So what I do with my little cousin is sometimes we'll make heritage scrapbooks, and when we make these, we always use copies only of the pictures. And you know, we go to the dollar store and buy some cheap paper, and we get some cool scissors and, you know, ribbon, that sort of a thing, and we make a really pretty page, and then the page can either be framed or added to an album or whatever. But the point, though, is to let the kids really be the one who are the artistic one doing it. You know, they need to be the one who are cutting and pasting and gluing and all that sort of thing. They need to be the ones who are completely allowed to decide the layout of the page and that sort of a thing. You might want to just even give them their own page to do, and you do your own. That way they have lots of freedom. You know, give them lots of ribbon, give them stamps, give them cool paper, whatever. It really doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, I go to the dollar store and I gather supplies every once in a while. It's really cheap. She loves doing it, and we always talk about whose ever picture we're putting down, how they're related to me and how they're then related to her, how they're related to her dad and her grandma, and that, and on and on and on. Which is really fun. It's a great way for us to connect, and it's a great way for us to talk about our ancestors together. Another really great idea is to just show pictures, even if it's just an album. I like to use only copies, though, only because, you know, little kids, they have sticky hands and they like to touch everything, and if you have originals, that can really damage them. So copies are best for this, and that way, you know, you sit down, and you can even do this with a 2-year-old. Sit them on your lap, open the book, and just, you know, who's this, who's that, and they'll love it. They have so much fun. And after a while, it can be like a quiz, and you start to tell stories. Oh, look, this is Grandma's daddy. Just like you have a daddy, so does Grandma, and that sort of a thing. It's just a great way to get them involved, and they have a lot of fun doing it, because if you don't make it fun, they're not going to want to do it at all. Another great idea is to cook a family recipe together. You know, get them involved in the kitchen, put an apron on them, stick them in some, you know, old grubby clothes, and let them get their hands dirty. You'll probably have a big cleanup afterwards, but it's completely 100% worth it. Also, if you have a kid who's old enough to read, and is really proud of their reading level, for example, my little cousin Audrey is in 2nd grade, but she has a phenomenal reading level. I mean, the things that she can read is really amazing. Not only read, but understand. And so the other day she saw me online on my computer, and I was reading different blogs, and I happened to be on Randy Seaver's Geneamusings blog, and she started looking over my shoulder, and she started reading out loud the About Me section. And I was really proud of her, because first off, she read genealogy, which is a pretty difficult word for a 2nd grader. But she also was reading all these things about him, and she was pronouncing most of the words correctly, and she wanted to know more about him. Oh, this is your friend, you know, did you meet him? What's he like? what's his wife like? Have you ever met his kids? On and on and on. She was like so interested. And so then I would go on to like other blogs as I kept reading, and she's looking and she thinks it's so cool and she wants to learn more. Alright, so that's it for this video, everyone. I hope you learned something, and I hope you start talking to the kids in your life, you know, whether they be brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, grandkids, whatever, you know, the neighborhood kid that you babysit. It doesn't matter. The point is just to get them involved, to plant that spark really, really early, and even if they don't get involved now, the point is that they'll want to get involved later.